How you guys doing out there, Screen Monsters? If you're paying attention to the stream today, you got me, TBR Fate, aka Michael Asensio, and we got Drunken Masher over here, aka Justin Hernandez. Some of the local fighting game kind of like champs around here, a little bit, and a little bit. Say we're pretty good, decent. I mean, compared to the rest, I guess. But we're going to be doing a tutorial for AE today. For some of you beginners out there who are not too well versed in AE, we will show some advanced combos and techniques that you can use to better your gameplay. We feel like this would be a good time to give back to the community, of course, because the community is giving so much to us. So, I mean, we're here at local gaming center. Just Play Games. They do a lot of cool stuff here. Really nice atmosphere. So yeah, we're gonna jump into it. Give us just a sec here to finish setting up and enjoy. Standard hitbox. Yeah, he uses a ton of hitbox. Ryu, Cody, Ken. He has a bigger hitbox. Chuma, Dan. All right, guys, we legitimately chose the poster childs of this game. I guess that's who we're going to show you some pretty basic. We'll start out with some basics. We'll teach you what a cross-up is. After teaching you what a cross-up is, we can move from going into intermediate and standard combo and an advanced technique. So, as one of the things that we do here when we train is always using the training room. You got to become a training room monster at some point in your game if you want to get better. So we recommend learning your ranges. When you're starting out. So I mean, low forward is a very, 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 very useful tool when it comes to pretty much any Shoto, and a lot of the other charge characters have some pretty good low forwards, including Vega, Guile. Help me out here.
Balrog has a pretty good low forward as well. Evil Ryu.
Evil Ryu, yep. Ryu, of course, the godlike low forward.
Basically, any character that you choose will have their arsenal of normals. So you have to get familiar with their normals and see what your pros and cons are as far as the character is generally.
Right, so here we have Ken. Ken has a very good low forward. His crouching light is a 3-frame. His crouching short here is a 3-frame. Crouch short normal. His jab, I believe, as well. His crouching medium is 5 frames. And when it hits, it's actually -2. But excuse me, not -2. When on block, it's -2. But you know, we'll get into the frames a little bit later. But yeah, you gotta get used to your normals and your ranges. So for example, if I'm using stand strong, you know, I would obviously have to know where stand strong is gonna hit. And know where the hurt box for that specific character was. But in this case, if we're just using like a standard, you know, just to make it you know, how do you say, not standard but common. You know, you would just find where that end of that normal connects with the other character's body. Basically, you're touching with, and you know, and that works for either way. Now, some characters do have some invincibility on their hurt boxes. So, for example, as you can see here, at the range I'm standing, which is about range 1.75, Ryu's foot here happens to be invincible, so he actually doesn't get hit by that. You know, so you really got to learn those ranges. When it comes into footsies and, you know, you try to dance around, you know, playing against another player at high levels, you got to be able to know where that, you know, that normal is going to connect and what kind of response you're going to get from it. So you also have, you know, your roundhouses. You got your low roundhouses. Sweeps, very important. Knockdowns are really important in the game, especially at this version of the game. Knockdowns are very, very important for mix-up. And so here we're going to test a couple of, you know, a couple of standard normals out. If I got to set my training dummy here real quick, which Mr. Masher has gladly volunteered to be my dummy today. So he's going to move into the range of some normals so we can actually show where they connect at. And as you can see, when he moves about into about range, about half, about 1.5, it looks about right there, the jab will connect with his body, with his shoulder, and, you know, that'll start that from there. And then with the crouching medium kick, it's about okay, so we're looking at almost range 2. All right, so about one, you know, a square and like 3/4 of the way you can connect your medium kick. In this case with Ken. So yeah, you know, when you're doing general footsies, you want to be able to know those ranges. In this case, you know, we'll kind of demonstrate a little bit how footsies work. He's going to use some of Ryu's tools, some of Ryu's regular normals that, you know, we'll be able to show you the ranges and distances. And as you can see, yep, there you go. Now, Ken is a little different. Ken does have a moving hitbox. So if you can actually time sweeps to hit the front lean of his hitbox, you can actually hit him. So, for example, if we have Ryu walk over and go to the sweep invincibility range, about right there, take like a small, tiny step forward, right there. Sweep. Okay. Now, as you see how that worked, now his hitbox was moving. So because of the fact that his hitbox was moving was how he was able to sweep me. So these are also, you know, little sudden things that you can notice about different characters, how their hitboxes move. For all other information on hitboxes and the actual pictures of what they look like, Event Hubs, www.eventhubs.com. It's been great. Or shoryuken.com as well. Yep. Plenty of matchup threads, you know, all the information you could possibly need. Always go there. I mean, we're going to demonstrate some special moves here now. You know, as these characters have the fireballs, you know, each one that you do has a different trajectory, and, you know, you want to use these respectively. In this case, Ryu, having the faster fireball, he can actually use his fireball during the footsie's time, which would be considering that dance that you play to try to get a knockdown against another opponent. So as you can see here, if Ryu uses a sweep, there is no quick get up. It's a hard knockdown. So I can't quick rise, and that's what leads to mix-ups. So for example, he can go for the overhead and do things like that. If I'm unsuspecting, I'm going to get hit by the overhead. So it's really interesting. It's an interesting way they went with the game, this expansion of the game. As we're moving into Ultra, there are things that are going to be changing. They're supposed to be changing the wake-up times, and you know we really don't know exactly what's going yet. But So we'll move into focus attacking now because there is the focus attack. Now the focus attack basically can cause a crumple and lead into a combo, full damage combo usually. As you can see there, he can link to a special move or even a combo. The great thing about the focus is, see, there you go, he can ultra punish. With that. The good thing about the focus attack is it does eat another attack. So go ahead and, in the case that you happen to try to attack with a normal or something that's not armor breaking, you will get hit with the focus attack and crumple, causing you to get hit by a combo. So you want to be careful with the focus attack. Now there are different levels to the focus attack. Level 1, as your first flash, level 1, second flash, level 2, and then the third, the full charge, and that leads to a full crumple. Now there are different mechanics with the focus attack, of course. For example, if I do a focus attack and he does, I believe it's a medium DP, it will break my armor because it's 2 hits. You should have a light DP that breaks armor. No, okay, so his don't break armor. So do Tatsu. So in this case, his Ryu's Tatsumaki will break the focus attack's armor. As you see, you'll hear like a glass breaking sound, and you'll get knocked down most of the time from that. So you want to be careful. You want to know your armor break attacks. You want to know when to throw a focus attack, of course. So for example, if we were doing block strings, if I were being Ken, then I would probably do something kind of tricky and per se like low forward fireball, and then do a cancel from the low forward fireball into a focus attack. Kind of like that. Now, if the opponent was to throw out a normal, he would then be crumpled by the focus attack. So, you can get tricky with it. I would recommend learning your footsies first, of course. That's always my main focus is footsies. Because when it comes to high-level play, you have to know your footsies, to be able to dance with them. Then it comes down to anti-air and things like that. So, anti-air. Basically when an opponent is jumping in, the tools that you use to anti-air will greatly determine your next position. So you want to be able to reset the opponent safely. In this case, with any of the standard Shotos Ryu can, you can use Crouch Fierce, that's a big one. For example, he actually can use Close Stand Fierce also. And that will, no, actually I think it trades against it. Yeah, it trades, so I think you have to do Crouch Fierce at a high. Yeah, or Stand Fierce, there you go. Yeah, Stand Fierce beats it easily. You can always do air to air. So, there is anti-air and then there's air to air. So if he was to jump, he can jump and hit me with with another attack in the air, and that would be considered an air to air. In this case, for Ryu, he actually has a medium punch tool. So if you jump and do an air to air, he can priority on his, not priority, but the hitbox and active frames on his jumping medium punch will pretty much stomp right there. Will pretty much stomp out whatever normal that you throw to air him. So in this case, for Ken, if I were to anti-air, I'd probably use one of the two, which would be Crouch Fierce, or in this case, Strong DP. So if you were to jump in for me, oops, I'm sorry. Now, he throws his heavy kick, does not trade, it beats it clean because of the invincibility frame and active frame of the medium Shoryuken or strong Shoryuken. When you're learning frames, it is big. It is something that you're going to need to know if you plan on playing the game at a high level. The Japanese feel that us as Americans actually play the game at 15%. So we need to let them know, hey, we can do it too. So that's how I see it. When you figure that out and you learn the hitboxes and things like that, then you'll be able to do those types of things, anti-air, and a lot of it's reaction. If you can see it coming, then most of the time you can do it. And of course, unless it's a just frame timing where it has to be done specifically. We'll move into that with frame trapping a little bit later as we get by. So I just want to demonstrate a couple anti-airs here. So I'm going to jump in on Ryu here. And as you see, he hits me with the DP, beats it clean, and the EX DP. There's no trading, nothing. He just beats it completely clean. That is a successful anti-air. Those are successful anti-airs, and those can lead to very punishing combos. So, for example, if Ryu will uppercut, ultra punish me on this anti-air, and even with the trade, Ryu has the ability to trade. That one just didn't connect at the time, but he does have the ability to trade with his DP and still hit the